Hi, my name is Christine Beckman. I'm at the Palmerage School of Business. I've been here for 11 years. I'm interested in how organizations learn from the relationships that they have with other firms, and also how the individuals within firm learn from their past experiences and their past relationships. I decided to study this research topic because we don't know a lot about young companies, particularly private companies. The data is very, very hard to get. And so it was really exciting to have an opportunity to look at these 170 companies and look at all of the people that had come and gone at the executive ranks over time. And it was a really unique data opportunity to be able to try and understand how did these people influence the firm. So I've studied Silicon Valley companies and looked at how the people in those companies, where they come from, the experiences they have, and how that shapes the way the company develops over time. I became interested in Silicon Valley firms when I was working with a colleague named Diane Burton, who was in graduate school with me and is now at Cornell. So I just got off a conversation with my co-author, Diane Burton, who's at Cornell University. When we first started this project, she was at Harvard and then she was at MIT, and we've been able to sort of keep tabs despite being different institutions and different time zones. We do a lot of communicating over Skype and handing off of projects. And as part of a larger project on Silicon Valley companies, we started collecting the career histories and the background information from about 1,400 different executives that had worked in these companies over time. So I've always been interested in how we're influenced by our past experiences and our past relationships. And so this big study on Silicon Valley companies was a great opportunity to look at how these entrepreneurs were shaped by their past relationships and their past experiences. This particular set of papers came out of the Stanford Project on Emerging Companies, which is a pretty large-scale project. It started with 170 companies, and we then decided to track all the top management, the vice presidents, the CEOs, people that had been involved in the company over time. And so we started collecting career histories, which is actually rather difficult because these weren't public companies. This is not data that was widely available. So we had to look to the local papers that would track movements, the coming and goings of people. As the internet became more and more prevalent and available, we could find people's vitas and resumes online, scouring the internet, scouring newspapers in the area for information on all of the executives that had joined these companies, 170 companies, over time. So when they had come, what position they came, when they left. So this was a pretty intensive data collection effort. We all know that it's good to have diverse people around you. That makes our ideas more exciting, more innovative. That's certainly one of the things we found. But what was most surprising to us is answering the question, how do these companies become diverse? How do they attract diverse people? And it turns out the way to do it is to start with a diverse founding team. And only the companies that did that were really able to sort of be diverse over time. One of the most interesting things we discovered in this study is the answer to how do you get a diverse team. And really the answer is you have to start there. You have to start with a very diverse founding team from day one. So one of the really interesting research findings was looking at the teams, how diverse they were and how similar they were, and then looking at how innovative the firm was or how quickly they were able to put products into place or make decisions. And we found that the more diverse the team to start with, the more innovative their ideas were, that more able they were to change ideas and be flexible. But the teams that started much more similarly and had similar backgrounds, they were actually to move more quickly. So there was advantages and disadvantages to different kinds of team makeup. One of the things we did is we looked at teams along two dimensions. On one dimension we had experience. The other dimension was the kinds of structures and roles and job titles they put in place. How clear-cut were those versus more ambiguous, general partners kinds of things. And what we found is the teams that had the most experience and the most clear-cut structures performed the best. They got venture capital more quickly, they went public more quickly. And then the teams that struggled the most were actually the teams that had very clear structures and role responsibilities. It was clear who did what, but you didn't have the right people in those positions, and those teams really struggled. For entrepreneurs, I would say, think really hard about what jobs you really need when, and don't create a job just to have it. Only really create that job when you need to have someone in it, and then really pick the right person. Pick someone with that relevant experience. For people coming into a firm, I would say, don't just look at the people in the firm at the moment. Look at who was it that, especially in young companies, right? Who was it that created this job? Because the way that job was created by that initial person is going to shape your ability to be successful, knowing how similar or different you are from that person that created the job in the first place. The impact of this research is really in helping figure out what kinds of teams are going to likely to be successful over the long run. And we know the importance of experience and having the right people in place, and our research certainly supports that. But we also need to think about building an organization, building a team, and really thinking about putting the right structures in place to allow those people to be successful. So this research has been published in a wide variety of academic journals, including places like Organization Science, the American Sociological Review, Research in Sociology of Organizations, the Journal of Business Venturing, Academy of Management Journal. So this work is really out there in a lot of different organizational journals.